complete light work. Right, what's going on guys, welcome back to another video. Finally driving a GTI Clubsport Edition 40. Been waiting to drive one of these for a few years now. They're quite rare cars. They're actually limited production run. The owners kindly lent it to me for a whole day, so I actually picked it up last night, had like a brief drive in it. Very fun car, you can tell straight away when the first 5 minutes you start driving. The plan today is I'm going to give you guys a walk around of the car, so show you all the spec and stuff. This particular car is probably the highest spec GTI I've ever seen. It's crazy, you even look at the seats that I'm sitting in. We'll do that and then we'll take it for a drive on our usual sort of country roads. If you're new to the channel, we sort of focus on sort of the real world perspective in a way. How it's like to take your car on like a little drive on the weekend, stuff like that. Should be pretty good. What we'll do now though, we'll head on the road and I'll find a place to do a little walk around. Then yeah, we'll get started. Just gonna pull over here, show you guys the spec on this beast. Alright, park. Alright, so let's just hop out. Right guys, so as promised, I'm going to give you guys a little tour of the spec. GTI Clubsport Edition 40 sits between the GTI Performance and the R. Still has front wheel drive as GTIs normally are. Main differences include suspension setup and sort of general handling sort of tweaks compared to the regular GTI. The engine is actually different to a GTI as well. It's actually the Golf R 2 litre. So it's got a different sort of version of the EA 888. In terms of power, they've got around 261 bhp and 286 on overboost. It's a bit strange, but generally a very sort of aggressive looking car, as you can tell by the body kit, the sort of rear spoiler. And also this particular car has got a lot of optional extras, including the Pretoria wheels in the sort of black finish. Go around the back, as you can see, spoiler. Definitely one of my more sort of favourite spoilers available for a Mark 7. They do look good, gives it a sort of very sort of functional sort of look. Apparently it does provide downforce as well, so it is kind of useful, along with the diffuser. The only sort of modification this car has got is a Scorpion catback, so it does sound pretty good. I've found that the Scorpion systems do sound relatively good for this 2 litre. Other little touches include the sort of Clubsport decal on the side, and also the darkened rear taillights as per the Golf R. Red GTI badges on the side. And also the red brake calipers. I love the sort of black and red theme that you get with the GTIs. The R has a sort of blue theme going on. But the GTIs to me always look a bit more purposeful. Like the Rs are kind of sleeper cars in a way. And this one with its sort of aggressive body kit and everything is definitely a very beefy looking thing. It does look good with the panoramic roof open, and also this car has got bucket seats, which I'll show you in a second. Other nice touches on this particular Clubsport, it's got Pilot Sport 4Ss on it. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of these tyres. I have driven them on Pretorias before, so it is going to grip very well. To go with that, we've also got an electronically controllable mechanical LSD at the front, a bit similar to the way the sort of GTI Performance is. Should help with sort of tucking into the corners. I'll just show you guys the interior. Right, so straight away, bit of red stitching on the doors, but the main highlight of the interior is definitely these bucket seats. You can't even get these on a Golf R. They're sort of exclusive to the GTI Clubsport. It's something that the Golf R is missing in my opinion. These really do set off the interior. As you can see, the stitching is really high quality. And if I just unlock the back, I'll just show you the rear of them as well. They have a nice gloss black sort of painted finish. Of course, you're not going to get the best legroom behind them, but the trade-off is you get really good looking seats. And even the back seats, the bench has still got nice stitching. Other sort of highlights include an Alcantara wheel. This is actually standard on all Clubsports. It's got the red sort of 12 o'clock stripe as well, flat bottom, as usual with the sort of VW group cars. The seats are optional though, so they're not standard on the Clubsport, but they definitely are worth it. I mean, they sort of fully changed the interior. Normally they're sort of the normal seats in like the same sort of trim, but these it fully sort of changes the look, especially when you look at it from the front as well, if you can see. But yeah, the wheel is standard. Other sort of optional extras include the panoramic roof. Gives the car a very sort of sporty look in my opinion, even though some would say that why would a Clubsport have a sunroof. We've also got dyno audio as well, as you can see. This car is also a DSG. You can get a manual as well. There's actually 2 models of the Clubsport. There's this, which is the Clubsport Edition 40, and there's one above it as well, which is the Clubsport S. That car has 306 bhp and it has no back seats, and I believe they're 3-door only. With that you can only get a manual, but the Edition 40 has the option of a DSG. It's basically the more sort of livable version of the Clubsport S, with a tiny bit less power, but probably not enough to notice. I mean, even look at the seat belts as well. These seat belts actually remind me of the exact ones that are on the RS3 with the RS design pack. They look very similar. We've also got no armrest, which is strange, but yeah, overall a very nice looking car. Right guys, as you saw there, a little tour of the car. Very high spec example. I've not seen a GTI like it before. Just genuinely have not seen anything like this on the road. It has stuff that you can't even get on a Golf R. Very nice thing. What we're going to do now, we're going to get a start up of the car, get a few revs in because it is warm. It has a Scorpion catback exhaust. That's the only mod on it. But yeah guys, one thing also I just want to mention quickly before we do that. I wanted to sort of turn this into like a video series. As you've noticed now, with the few videos I've done, they've been classed as the most expensive one I've done. Of course with the Golf R one, there were still a few things that were not on the car, but generally it had most of the stuff ticked. So do you guys want it to be like a series where I sort of get hold of cars and cover ones that have got everything ticked? I think it'll allow people to sort of see all the options that they're planning on getting. But yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll turn on the car. Start key. Of course, Mark 7 this is based on, so you've got the older style speedo and the sort of upgraded nav. This isn't the standard nav that you get, so it is a larger one. As I said, loads of spec on this, but yeah, let's get to the startup. Got the little needle sweep as well, blips it nicely too. Right, let's put it straight into sort of sport mode. These are the modes you have. With Golf R's it normally says race there, with this it says sport, and as you can see this car has got DCC, so it's got adaptive ride. But yeah, let's put in sport. As you can see, it's got loud already. So as you heard there, pretty decent sound. It's not over the top. The good thing with this one is not too loud, so you can sort of daily the car still. Even though this is more of a sort of focused sort of car, you still can put it in D and like leave it in comfort mode and it drives quite smoothly. I have given it a go, so I can confirm it does drive normally when you want it to. But yeah, what we'll do now, we'll get some GoPro set up, and yeah, we'll finally go for a drive. Alright people, so here we are on the GTI. We're going to leave it in sport mode for the rest of this video because I don't think there's any time to discuss comfort mode. We just want to see what this thing can do. So as mentioned, it's got the same 2-litre TSI as the Golf R, not the GTI version, it's actually the Golf R version, slightly detuned. In terms of figures, they say it's got around 261 bhp for most of the time, and then 286 bhp on overboost for 10 seconds. It's a bit strange, but I think that's just a marketing thing. They don't want to step on the toes of the R. But in other sort of areas, this car is very different from the Golf R, mainly being the sort of fact that it's front wheel drive. But it has got a clever diff up front, so it does get the power down fairly well. So if I floor it now, second, it just gets off, it just goes. Of course this car's got the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on it, 19-inch wheels, of course, Pretorius, so you've got a really good rubber on it, so it will sort of put its power down. You can get optional Cob 2s, I believe, when this car was new. But it definitely does get off. It has good sort of momentum power. I mean, it's not like a sort of dangerous power in that way. It's a very nice sort of progressive. It's enough for a country road. That's my sort of first impression so far. It feels on the mark as a Golf R, to be honest. It doesn't really feel any slower because it's sort of front wheel drive, so it's lighter than the Golf R, despite the slight sort of performance deficit. Yeah, the steering is lovely. It's very different, much more direct, and it's darty, and also nice Alcantara wheel. You can't beat it. It's good in a way. I've driven a Mark 7R with an Alcantara wheel, so there's no sort of placebo there, because sometimes the wheel can give you sort of false sort of perception. But this is all the car, man. This is all the car. Yeah, as mentioned, there's two versions of this car. There's the Clubsport Edition 40, which I'm in right now, which has the whole 261 bhp and 286 on overboost thing. And then there's the Clubsport S, which is actually the Nürburgring record holder. That's actually a 3-door only manual, and it's got no back seats. That car, I believe, has 306 brake horsepower, so pretty much identical to my S3 actually. So there's two versions. I think this car was made so some people who wanted a more sort of focused version of the GTI but didn't want the less sort of practical stuff of the Clubsport S. So there is that. But I just love the way this thing feels just sitting. I mean, these bucket seats, you can't even get them on the R, which is a bit of a shame. It just feels like a very high quality product, and it sounds really good as well. There's not too much of a sound actor going. It has got, of course, an aftermarket system, but yeah, a bit of fighting there. I noticed when you accelerate a front wheel drive car with the differ, they start just like, I haven't felt like a hop yet, like, you know, as the Cupra had the sort of wheel hop. I haven't felt it just yet, but it's just sway slightly, but that is just how they are. You saw shuffling power around, so that is what you get with the front wheel drive. This car is a little Caterham. Everyone's out for a Sunday drive today. My usual sort of familiar route, so compare it directly to the 7.5R that I drove a few weeks ago. Ride isn't too bad as well. Of course, we've got adaptive suspension on this, so it is picking up the sort of bumps quite well. It's not getting thrown off. To be honest, this doesn't feel any worse than my S3, which is ironic because the S3 is like a luxury version of this MQB platform. Yeah, these 4S tyres are putting the power down really good. Bridge time, first gear. See what I mean about the Scorpion not being overly loud? It's just right. Look how agile this thing in these bends. Yeah, this is very different to that R that I came in a few weeks ago. Look at this. Sit on the corner. Yeah, diff is just pulling it into the bends. Yeah, very different car, guys, very different car. Power wise, because it's a bit lighter as well, I don't really feel too much in it in terms of speed. Here versus, of course, I've got an S3 as well myself, so exactly the same sort of power as the R. It doesn't feel that much slower, to be fair, but it just has a different way of gaining speed. You've got to sort of do more work. Yeah, look at this diff working. Yeah, that is something, that is something. You're carrying a lot more speed in these bends. With these sort of Haldex 4-wheel drive cars, you can sort of add power in the bend, no doubt, but this seems to just be like a bit more buzzy, like, you know. Of course, similar to the Land Cooper 290 in that regard, like that car is really good for the money. But I can definitely see the appeal of this because it's like a very fancy product as well. Yeah, this is something, definitely. The ride is very good considering I've got it in sport, so. And power band as well, man. After 4K, it really wakes up. It doesn't feel like a 260 brake horsepower car for sure. I think the overboost is working most of the time in the UK because our country roads, you can't really go more than 10 seconds at a time. Half the time you're just doing that 2-3 second bursts and you're slowing down. So the overboost is working properly. It's very nice, this is very nice. Bit of shuffling to do, nothing too much. You got to work for your sort of driving after all. You can't just sit there and expect the car to do it for you. But that is the case with a lot of cars now. You just sit there and just hold on, basically. Yeah, this is more of the sort of car you want to bring on this road. See, no doubt the R will probably demolish this road, just like I know I've driven R so many times, because I can say that the car would be easier to drive fast on this road, like you could think less. But I'm not gonna lie, this feels a bit more fun so far. It's just the way it is. Front wheel drive makes you do a bit more work. We've got people on the road sitting on the apexes all day long. There's no push at all. You can get push on the R and S3 if you keep pushing it, but GTI Clubsport on 4S tyres, something, guys. It definitely is something. Get a bit of wheel spin as well. There's just more going on, as you can hear with the wheel spin. Like, if you want to be more involved with the drive, I'd say this is the one to go for. But you gotta remember though, these are quite expensive and they're holding their value, so ours are more obtainable. Like, you can get a Golf R now in like 17-18k for not even like too much of a bad condition one, a relatively decent one. So with these cars, it's going to have a different sort of buyer, one that's going to want to keep its stock probably, because it's a more sort of limited edition car. Even the sort of regular edition 40, like this one, is a limited run car, and the Clubsport S above it is even more sort of rare. But this is probably the more sort of livable version of the Clubsport range. They are discontinued now as well, so you can't actually get one in a Mark 7.5 or anything like that. This is a Mark 7 Golf. Right, so I think what we'll do, we've got a few cars up ahead, so we might as well stop here and do a launch, make use of this little stretch. So of course, ESP in Sport, same sort of procedure, foot on the brake, foot down on the gas completely. It says launch control active. Okay, it definitely had the wheel hop thing there. That was very similar to the Cooper there. Once it sort of gripped up, it started going. But yeah, of course, that wheel hop is there. I mean, I didn't feel it before, but I think if you're going to launch it, you will get that, but then it's not really the point of the car. Downshifts are right there when you want them. Yeah, the diff works nicely. You don't really get the power dying off. There's plenty of pull all the way to the red line. Yeah, it's a proper little hooligan of a Golf, man. I can't do that in a lot of hot hatches, to be fair. Makes light work of these roads, complete light work. Right guys, I think what we'll do now, we'll wrap up the video here. I think I've given you guys a sort of good sort of look at the Clubsport. Quite an interesting car if you're looking for something a bit more sort of unique and a bit more rarer out there. It's essentially a front wheel drive Golf R with better handling. By better handling, I mean it's more sort of focused. The R is all-wheel drive, so you can't really take that away from it. It's probably the more sort of better all sort of weather sort of performance machine. But this feels like a very sort of track focused car, and it's quite fun to sort of deal with wheel spin sometimes. But yeah, definitely guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for a lot more content to come. Also, get in the comments and let me know what else you want to see. And also, if you've got a car you want to feature on the channel, just drop me an email at hamza_trh@hotmail.com. I'll put it on the screen now. I'm doing any sort of car, to be honest. I'm sort of trying to cover a lot of hot hatches and any sort of super saloons. It's not sort of limited like that, but of course on the channel we do focus on more sort of real world performance machines. So yeah, contact me if you've got a car. And yeah guys, just make sure to sort of stay tuned for a lot more to come, and I'll see you in the next one.